Program lineup here, we're going to talk to Lanton Steins. Yes, Lakadko Dance having him 30th anniversary this year, this weekend, yeah. You put your tape on cock. Well, we don't know if you have no tape again. Now we don't know if you have no cock. But here we are today. We want you to listen keenly because we're carrying you to the university. Remember, so we have a university upon this program, the Cultural University. We are going for 20 years now, you understand? So here we are saying now, a serious reason I'm going on the radio tonight. We have a lecture. Well, not a lecture, it's a documentary. We have a documentary where we want to play for the people them where we find very interesting, consider and say, we did talk about this subject about, I think 2 weeks ago we mentioned this subject about the devil. Remember we were talking about the devil and we said why devil come like a concept. Devil not really, there's no individual where you can say this is the devil. Like somebody throw the devil out of heaven and all them something there. You know, like the devil is a personal person. We want to play a documentary tonight, you know, where we know say you're not going to sleep tonight. You understand? I have a vex with Muta tomorrow. They say, why Muta? You know, say, the man make me set up. I listened to this thing last night. We want to play a documentary about the history of the devil. Yes. We did play one years ago, but it's not that one because we have sieved through all of the things that we have about the devil. And because based upon how we are going at the society and now, and people is totally immersed into religious ideas and religious delusions and illusions, mythologies and fantasies. Because we don't know, you know, there is some things and I wonder how them get to it. And we're talking about Europeans now. How Europeans get to believe the things that them believe. And we come now believe it like is a sum total of all belief system. Like there is no other belief system outside of what we believe. And we can't realize it's because we were colonized by the Europeans why we believe what we believe. There's no reason to believe what we believe more than say the Europeans and believe it and it passed on to we and we believe it too. And we kill and dead and born and bear children for this belief system where really and truly it's handed down to it. The problem with it is that when we start to believe these things coming from Europe, we give it a historical point, reference point, that has nothing to do with the reference point that we give it to. When we talk about certain things, for instance, in the Bible, when we talk about all Egypt and Israel and all these things, because it is so embedded in us, we don't understand that there is an origin for all of these stories that we hear about. When we hear about like God and the devil and all these things, the devil is something where is man create the devil. It don't have nothing to do with no person, no individual person. It's man that create the devil. There's no person out there that is going to do this. The only devil that exists is where man create. That is it. The only devil that exists is where man create. A man create the devil based upon his own perception of what him feel is bad or what him feel is good. Right now in Jamaica, I don't know who Jamaican people eat more, gays or the devil. You know, it's like a thing, you know. I don't know. Because I hear so much venom against gays and then I hear so much terrible things about the devil that I try to figure out if you had a choice in Jamaica. That is a weird choice. If you had a choice in Jamaica, who would you choose? Because based upon how Jamaican are going, man, may I tell you? May I tell you, man? So may I say now, the devil is something where is captured, captivated, manipulated, projected on the consciousness of black people especially Christian thinkers. And the problem with it, you know, is that Christians believe this thing to the point where they project it on other people who don't believe it. And people who don't believe it start to believe it. It's amazing that a man believes in the devil so much, but yet still him do the things them where the devil tell him to do. Oh, you know where the devil the devil is an evil person. And the devil command you to do certain things. And you know, say, it's the devil, but you still do it. In opposition to the God where you claim. It's amazing. Everybody claim, every Christian, as a matter of fact, every westernized mindset believing that this person named the devil, yet still nobody can identify him or him look. Well, is she same black? That is really the irony of the whole thing. Historically, the devil is a black thing with horns and fangs and all these things. Historically, the devil is black. So, maybe we are descendants from the devil. That is why we're in a so much problem. Am I to believe that? Because that is how it comes down to it. The devil in hell is black. When you have Christmas time come, when you have Jankuno, the devil is black. Our perception that the devil is black, our perception of God is white. And we perpetuate this thing and we continue to do it over and over and over again. So we have the church will set up this so to manipulate your consciousness, manipulate your mind. And the church will preach things where if you ask a person the history of the thing we might preach, him don't know, he might refer to the Bible. The Bible is not the beginning of most of the things them where the Bible talk about. I want you to know that the Bible is not the beginning of a whole heap of things that the Bible talk about. You understand? Because 3,000 years ago there was no Bible. You understand? There was no Bible 3,000 years ago. The so-called New Testament was written the other day. When I say the other day, no, I mean like, I could say like 1700 years ago. The concepts that is riveted in our consciousness, Isaiah, Jeremiah, all of these ancient Israelites, well, we don't even know because Isaiah looked like a two-person. According to where we are come understand now, there's two Isaiah them have. According to where we come understand now, Mark is not the first gospel in the Bible. Sorry, Mark is the first gospel. Sorry, not Matthew. Matthew is not the first gospel. Matthew was written before Matthew. Mark was written before Matthew. And the Paul letters was written before all of them. That's everything. How could we think that? Where the Bible is chronological, it state out how the thing go. Now tonight we want to delve into, delve come like devil, delve. We want to delve into a documentary that presents a historical point of view of how the devil originated, the origination of the devil. Historically. We're not talking about now where me believe, where you believe, but historically, how it come about, who bring it about, why it was brought about, and all these things. Because you're not going to hear this on no other radio station in Jamaica. Believe you me. Because they're afraid to play the one. The boss are going to come tell them, so why that they play on the radio. And they're going to tell you, say, boy, people don't want to hear that. Well, here I know. We don't know how this program set up already. We set up the program that it can draw attention to certain things that maybe you don't hear in a theological college, or you don't hear in a science college, or a university outside. Or you don't have money for pay go to the university there. So we supply you with that information that the university would normally supply you with. So this is really a university night where we carry in a theological college that states non-apologetically about the devil. Can you imagine? We have a program on the radio where I talk about the devil. We get terribly at all. Yes. So don't like have your radio because we know why you get afraid and scared, but we get terribly at all. Yes. So don't like have your radio because we know why you get afraid and scared, but there's a beginning to most of the stories and most of the concepts and ideas that we hold fast to, that we need to understand clear. In this time of information, it's the man who has the most information can go win the war, you know. There is information time now, and if you are not informed, you're going to delve into superstitions, and that is what is running most of our life, you know. Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge, and I remember they already go through the PS's informal Cutting Edge go on here, so tonight, very informal, believe you me. Oh, we can't say IRFM with the part, because IRFM could have done all them things there, trust me. But I really see we get fired long time. Okay, I would not say the program manager listen. Alright, you know what I say now? Towards this documentary we are telling about, we want to present to you a documentary that I think is very revealing and very informative, and this is radio that informs, you understand? So here goes.
Lucifer, Beelzebub, the beast, Satan.
Hail Satan.
When you say Satan to me, I think God. He has been called many names. He has taken many strange and different forms. The idea of God's evil enemy has been around for thousands of years. And it's still as powerful as ever.
Evil is real, and it must be opposed.
It's powerful as ever.
Evil is real, and it must be opposed.
But where did Satan's story begin? Where did he come from? And how did he become the prince of darkness? More than 3,000 years ago, in the deserts and pasturelands of the Middle East, unknown hands wrote the earliest chapters of the Hebrew Bible. If the devil had a birthplace, surely it was here, somewhere in the book known to Christians as the Old Testament. In the oldest books of the Bible, a character called Satan does appear, but he's nothing like the Satan we imagine.
When we read the Old Testament, we find that from time to time there is this strange dark figure who pops up called the Satan. The word the Satan is actually a title. The word means the accuser. And to begin with, it seems that the Satan is one of the angels or attendants in the heavenly court, one of God's servants who, in a sense, had to do some of the dirty work.
This Satan has no power of his own. He does only what God tells him. Nor is he a horrible creature with horns and a tail.
There's no kind of prince of darkness, somebody who's standing opposite to God. Throughout most of the text, there's no concept at all of an evil force.
One of Satan's earliest appearances is as an angel in the book of Job. In one of the best-known stories in the Bible, Satan argues that Job, one of God's most loyal servants, is only pious because he has a good life. God agrees that Satan can test Job by inflicting on him all kinds of diseases and calamities. In the end, in spite of dreadful sufferings, Job continues to worship God, and Satan loses the argument. The Satan who makes Job's life a misery isn't a demon or even a bad angel. And he doesn't live in hell.
There wasn't any kind of concept of a hell like we have, a place of fiery torment and torture. In fact, to the ancient Israelites, what happened when he died was really very little. He went to a place called Sheol, and this was just a sort of dark, shadowy place, a sort of underworld, where everybody who died went, irrespective of whether you were good or bad.
So where is the Satan we know? Where is the fiend who is eternally at war with the forces of good? The monster who rules over the flames of hell and punishes sinners? Where is the fallen angel with his legions of demon helpers, tempting humans to do evil things so that he can win their souls? If the traditional devil doesn't come from the Jewish Old Testament, where does he come from? Since human history began, people all over the world have believed in demons and evil spirits. A few share some traits with our devil, like horns or a beard, but none are as powerful as Satan. So where did people first get the idea of an ultimate evil being? 3,500 years ago, in ancient Persia, where Syria, Iraq and Iran are now, there were many gods, good and evil. Until one man, a religious teacher called Zoroaster, reduced the whole complicated cast of characters to two.
Zoroaster is a revolutionary, primarily because he, in one sense, personifies these ethical categories into a good god, Ahura Mazda, and a bad god, Hammon. And this is an extremely potent idea and one which forms the basis for later conceptions of dualistic thought. In other words, the separation between good and evil.
The good god is the all-knowing Ahura Mazda, the god of light and order. The evil god is Ahriman, god of chaos, darkness and lies. In Zoroaster's teachings, the universe is a battlefield between the gods of good and evil, and every person on earth must take sides. After death, good people are rewarded in heaven, while sinners are punished in a dark and gloomy hell.
It is one of those ultimate, rather attractive kinds of dualism, that this life is a struggle between good and evil, therefore choose good, between light and darkness, therefore choose light.
Under the powerful Persian emperor Darius the Great, the teachings of Zoroaster became the official religion of the Persian Empire, an empire which includes the lands of Israel. The new Persian ideas about good and evil soon found their way into the Jewish scriptures.
So we get a clear demarcation of what we call Jewish ideas, okay, and we can spot the Zoroastrian ideas in the Old Testament. They are there, notions of heaven and hell, okay. The beginning of actually seeing the devil personified as the fierce opponent of God.
As the Persian Empire in turn is defeated by Alexander the Great, Greek culture comes to ancient Israel. The Greeks introduce a huge cast of gods and goddesses, including one who will shape our image of Satan for centuries. Hades has a black face or black beard. He sits on a throne, often made of ebony, and he wields a two-pronged fork, not for prodding sinners, but for blasting things to bits.
To the classical Greeks, the underworld was ruled by Hades, who was the god of the dead.
He was one of the Olympian gods, but he seems to have spent most of his time in this dark, shadowy underworld, which is also called Hades. Now, he wasn't a very nice character. He seems to have been very morbid and morose, and nobody really liked him. None of the gods liked him, and certainly no humans liked him.
Hades wasn't very likable, but he wasn't evil either. In fact, ancient Greeks see Hades as a god of justice. They believe that when people die, they go to Hades, and he decides whether they go to a place of happiness or a place of misery. As ruler of the world underground, Hades is also the god of wealth and abundance. In a dim memory of Hades, people have believed for centuries that the devil can make you rich. As well as the brooding character of Hades, the Greeks give the world another familiar ingredient of the devil's story. In a famous myth, Zeus, the greatest of the gods, defeats the winged serpent Typhon and throws him down to Tartarus, the lowest region of the underworld. Over the following centuries, the myth grows into the story of how the angel Satan rebels against God and is thrown out of heaven with all his followers. Satan's allies, the fallen angels, become his legion of demons. When we think of hell, we think of fire, lava, and sinners being horribly tortured. But where did this picture come from? The underworld of Hades doesn't have fire, but ancient Jerusalem does.
When we read the Gospels, we come upon Jesus warning people that there is this dangerous fate that might await them, and it's called Gehenna, which was the old smouldering rubbish heap in ancient Jerusalem.
And because of the stink of the place, and because there was so much in the way of rubbish, periodically it was set fire to, and the fires there would burn for several days, if not weeks.
Gehenna was the place where the Jerusalem authorities burned the bodies of executed criminals. Over time, the place came to stand for something supernatural, a spiritual fate that will await the wicked at the end of time. Gehenna was the inspiration for the terrors of hell. By the time the Christian Gospels are written, towards the end of the 1st century AD, Satan has grown into a powerful figure. By now, Jewish lands are ruled by the mighty Roman Empire. It was a time when the Romans were hated bitterly. To many Jews and Christians persecuted by Rome, Satan is the evil force behind Caesar's throne. In the New Testament book of Revelation, the writer gives Satan one of his most mysterious names, the Beast, 666. The Beast could refer to the Roman Emperor himself.
The author of Revelation says that the beast has a human number and it's 666. Now this has traditionally been seen as a reference to the Emperor Nero, and that's because if you take Nero Caesar in Aramaic and count up the numerical values of those letters, it comes to 666.
The book of Revelation says that the devil was sent down by God into the abyss, where he will be locked up for 1,000 years. When he gets out, the end of the world will come. An apocalyptic battle will take place as God and evil fight it out to the end.
Satan will be let loose and will put up a final attempt to control the world.
This is kind of the dragon of chaos back again. This is evil opposed to God. So it's drawing on very, very ancient cosmological speculation, not so much from Judaism itself, but from the surrounding areas, particularly the Persians.
So what does the devil look like at the dawn of the Christian era? Often he's got black skin and hair like Hades, the ruler of the underworld. His wings echo the story that he was once an angel, although they look more like the wings of a dragon. For thousands of years, the dragon was the symbol of an evil force. And it's from the dragon that Satan inherits his taloned feet. When Satan isn't being a dragon, he's a snake. The serpent, said to have tempted Eve in the Garden of Eden, has long been believed to represent the devil, although the scriptures don't actually say so. In fact, Christian leaders disagree, sometimes violently, about what the devil is like. But one thing they do agree on, he is busy working with and through their enemies. 4 centuries after Christ, the Roman Emperor, Constantine the Great, converts to Christianity. Within a generation, the once persecuted religion is the official creed of the mightiest empire on earth. Christian bishops now have real power, backed up by the state, and they use Satan to help them keep it. Again and again, church leaders claim that those who disagree with them, especially other Christian groups, are working for the devil.
As Constantine made it the state religion and the state church and an established religion, what Constantine and his immediate successors found hardest to put up with was heresy.
Catholic theologians would have said that because heretics didn't believe the correct Catholic faith, they must be worshipping the evil one instead, God's enemy.
The logic is relentless. It's us and them. If you're not with the church and the empire, you're with Satan. It's a short step for the church to demand that heretics be put to death. The first executions come 450 years after Christ. Over the following centuries, the numbers of people killed for supposedly working for Satan rose to many tens, possibly hundreds of thousands. Under the protection of the Roman Empire, the Christian religion grows quickly. But the bishops worry that the pagan gods are far too popular. Thousands of Romans still pray to the winged goddess Fortuna, the bringer of luck. But the most popular pagan god of all is Pan. Christian leaders see him as a serious threat who must be discredited.
Let's think of the case of Pan in Arcadia, and he becomes a sort of demon, whereas he was actually a very benign god of music and happiness and love-making and altogether to be admired, but becomes a goat-brained demon satire in the later Christianized versions of it.
Satan now adopts Pan's best-known features. He becomes an ugly, leering beast with horns on his head. His body is hairy, and he has Pan's cloven hooves, although sometimes he keeps the tanned feet of the ancient dragon. So outlandish has he become that he often has a second face on his belly. One of the greatest thinkers of the early Christian church is St. Augustine. Augustine is keen to show that the old nature gods are dangerous demons. According to Augustine, real demons called incubi appear to women at night and seduce them. Even more disturbing for Augustine, saintly men could be visited in their beds by female demons called succubi and forced to do sinful things against their will.
When, during the long dark hours, their frustrated minds produced all sorts of sexual visions and erotic pictures, and they had to expel these from their minds. And how on earth could this have come into my pious, celibate mind? It isn't me. This is an entity. This is something downright evil.
By the Middle Ages, after 1,000 years of Christian teaching, the Church has persuaded its followers that the devil and his demons are real, and that Satan is a powerful enemy. The problem is that some Christians take the idea a lot further than the bishops want.
Some branches of Christianity did see the world itself as created not so much by Satan but by a lesser evil god, and so for them, of course, everything to do with the world, with matter, with human flesh was seen in negative terms.
We do find the emergence of something called Gnosticism. Gnostic Christians carried with them this very clear notion of a good God and a bad God.
There's the good God who created everything spiritual, and there's the evil God who created everything physical, which means that everything that you can see or touch or sense with any of the five senses is actually coming from the evil God.
One group which is taking enthusiastically to the Gnostic idea of good and evil is the Cathars of southern France. To the Cathars, all material possessions are evil and belong to the devil. For a church now wealthy and powerful, this is an uncomfortable, even dangerous teaching.
The common people loved and admired them, called them les bonhommes, because they were healers. When the Cathars went around doing good, as they were certainly did, feeding the poor and healing the sick, so they were teaching people to avoid marriage, to avoid procreation, because all you would do, if you have a family, is to bring that new child into this decadent, evil, physical world where we should all be concentrating on spirituality.
Playing a tape very revealing, and for those of you who don't know, but if you mention a country named Persia, it's the old-time name for the country named Iran. Why I know that? Persia was Iran was once called Persia. And you can see the connection where a lot of the ancient Zoroastrianism spread its wings when the Greeks invade Persia. Because you know that Alexander invade Persia and move straight up into like past Iraq, go up Euphrates and all these places. Even Egypt it was. But why it's so important to understand how we get influenced by this fable, this mythology, is that because the Europeans was the dominant force in the world, where the Greeks take over, and the Greeks' influence in that part of the world, named Jerusalem, was so dominant and prominent that the Judaism that we see as Judaism, where the Old Testament is supposed to connect to, a lot of it was influenced by the invasion and the dominance of Greek mythology. Just like how now we have in Jamaica, when we was dominated by England, a lot of our perceptions and our stories, our nursery rhymes and all these poetry and all these things is dominated by English, the British. So we have to look at it in the context of we are influenced by the colonial masters, and the colonial masters was British. The Jerusalem and all of these places in that era was influenced by Greece and Rome, because there was a time when Greece was the dominant colonial masters, and then the Romans come and dominated. So a lot of the influences, a lot of the style of writing, the style of dressing, and just the style of thinking was dominated by the Greeks and the Romans in that time. So religion never escaped it. The culture of the people in that part of the world never escaped the dominance of the colonial masters. You understand? We have to recognize that we never escape British colonialism and the culture that British culture brought when they colonized Jamaica. So it is not far-fetched to understand that the people who is writing the Bible, the first time the New Testament was written was in the Greek language. I will say time and time again that there is no word for Jesus Christ in Amharic. The Ethiopians use the Greek word. As a matter of fact, the name Ethiopia itself is Greek. So you must understand, even in Ethiopia, the most ancient country, was influenced by the Greeks, to the point where Ethiopia is still called Ethiopia. And it is an Ethiopian word. And the name that the Ethiopians use for Jesus Christ is a Greek name, Jesus Christos. So, I say no more. We'll go back to this documentary.
If you were a Catharist, then you were actually in league with Satan. To question the church was to question God.
Pope Innocent III announced a crusade against the Cathars. He tried to convert them back to Catholicism. That hadn't worked. The only thing he could do now was kill them.
The crusade against the Cathars, launched in 1209, turns into a brutal 45-year war. At least 100,000 people die, partly for saying that Satan is even more powerful than the Church says he is. The crusade against the Cathars is against fellow Christians, but for almost 2 centuries, the Crusades are mostly about fighting Islam for control of the Middle East. In medieval Europe, Islam is seen as a heresy, the work of the devil. Muslims too are quick to claim their enemies are in league with the evil one. In the Quran, Muslims are instructed to fight against non-Muslims because they are friends of Satan. Both sides, inheriting the ancient beliefs of the Persians, see the world as divided into good and evil, justifying all the horrors of war and conquest. The Crusades leave a sinister legacy. In the middle of the campaign, Pope Gregory IX founds the Inquisition. Controlled by the Dominican Order of Friars, the Inquisition's job is to find heretics and hand them over to local princes for punishment.
The Inquisition gave people plenty to be frightened of, it gave them the fires of hell to be frightened of, and it gave them, in a more immediate sense, the Inquisition itself.
They had the right to arrest that person without telling them who'd accused them, or indeed what they were accused of.
The accused are guilty until found innocent, and can be held for as long as the authorities want. Anyone who questions the Inquisition is immediately suspected of being in league with the devil. In the fight against Satan and the powers of evil, medieval rulers believed that, as in any war, information is vital. Up till now, the Church has not officially allowed Christians to be tortured, although torturing Jews and Muslims is acceptable. But in May 1252, Pope Innocent IV rules that Christians suspected of heresy can be tortured until they confess they are working for the devil and inform on co-conspirators.
Once you've set up a debate that defines somebody as a Satanist, as a servant of Satan, then you have put them in a position where you can do what you want to them because you are justified by working for the forces of good.
Generally, once somebody had been accused of heresy, there was no way they could clear themselves. No matter what they said, because they were a heretic, therefore in league with the devil, therefore anything they said was like to be a lie.
But the torturers can't do whatever they please. They are supposed to follow strict guidelines.
In theory, and according to Pope Innocent IV in the middle of the 13th century, torture should be limited, it should not draw blood, it should not lead to serious permanent damage to the person who's being tortured. In practice, these regulations are not always followed.
But there's also something which the psychologists would refer to as a rationalization process, that it could all be very well for them to say, oh yes, we're trying to save your immortal soul, we're trying to keep you out of hell, we're trying to prevent the devil from getting you, and what they really mean is we'd rather fancy your farm.
All over Europe, the new powers, supposed to be used against Satan, are used by the unscrupulous to seize wealth or to do down their enemies. In 1307, King Philip the Fair of France brings witchcraft charges against the leaders of the Knights Templar, the fabulously wealthy order of crusaders. Philip accuses the Templars of worshipping a pagan idol called Baphomet, a supposedly satanic figure.
The Templars have been involved in the Middle East in negotiations with Muslims, and some people in Western Europe thought they had been in league with the Muslims, and because the Muslims, everybody knew, in inverted commas, were involved in magic, there is therefore a hint that perhaps the Templars were involved in magic too.
They were attacked and largely destroyed on Friday the 13th of October in 1307. Sealed orders given by Philip rebelled his seneschals to attack every Templar stronghold simultaneously.
Ever since the purge of the Templars, Friday the 13th has been seen as an unlucky day, somehow connected with satanic forces. In 1320, the war against Satan is wound up another notch. Pope John the 22nd orders the Inquisition to target any kind of witchcraft, sorcery, or necromancy. A big worry is that unscrupulous priests who know how to drive out devils with the rites of exorcism might instead use exorcism to invite the devil in.
Formulas, Latin formulas and rituals which can be used to command the demon. Now, once you've got a Latin formula that has power to command a demon, I could use that to command a demon to do my washing up, you know? I could use that power to command a demon to get this woman I fancy into bed. The necromancers are interested in using the formulae of exorcism to command demons to do other things that they are interested in. Yeah, a demon could make me rich. A demon could find some hidden treasure for me.
Fear that necromancers and witches are all around, conjuring up demons and making pacts with the devil, sweeps across Europe. One of the first cases investigated by the Inquisition is in the Irish city of Kilkenny. In 1324, in a dispute over inheritance, one of the richest women in the town, Dame Alice Catella, was accused of witchcraft, heresy, and of having a demon lover called Robin.
Alice Catella, a landowner in Kilkenny, who had several husbands, so had stepchildren brought a charge against her that she poisoned her previous husbands in order to obtain the land, and she poisoned or killed them otherwise through witchcraft.
Alice manages to escape to England. Her unfortunate servant, Petronella, is tortured and burned at the stake. The campaign against necromancers, sorcerers, and witches lasts 300 years and kills between 60,000 and 300,000 people. The vast majority of the victims are women.
Women were thought of as being more prone to the devil, more likely to sin, more likely to be led astray. They were also thought to be less intellectual than men.
Women were seen as closer to animals. And part of this was that they were more susceptible to temptation, that they were more easily seduced by material gratification.
As the Inquisition goes about its grisly business, rounding up suspects and interrogating them, many clerics and lay people worry that it's all guesswork. Perhaps they're missing even more witches than they're finding. But how can you tell who is one of Satan's helpers? What you need is a standard test. In 1486, two German Dominican monks publish a textbook for inquisitors called Malleus Maleficarum, the Hammer of Witches. The book contains a clever catch-22. Not only is witchcraft heresy, not believing in witches is heresy as well.
Malleus Maleficarum was the manual for how to get rid of all these demonic fleas that had infested a human being.
It was a book of what witches were, what witches did.
Malleus Maleficarum tells the Inquisitor everything he needs to know. Witches have the mark of Satan on their bodies, a birthmark or a wart. They can fly by rubbing magical herbs on their skin, and they gather at Satan-worshipping ceremonies called Sabbaths. At these, they celebrate a twisted version of the Christian Mass, kissing the devil's rear end in a blasphemous act of homage. Fear that necromancers and witches are all around, conjuring up demons and making pacts with the devil, sweeps across Europe. One of the first cases investigated by the Inquisition is in the Irish city of Kilkenny. In 1324, in a dispute over inheritance, one of the richest women in the town, Dame Alice Catella, was accused of witchcraft, heresy, and of having a demon lover called Robin.
Alice Catella, a landowner in Kilkenny, who had several husbands, so had stepchildren brought a charge against her that she poisoned her previous husbands in order to obtain the land, and she poisoned or killed them otherwise through witchcraft.
Alice manages to escape to England. Her unfortunate servant, Petronella, is tortured and burned at the stake. The campaign against necromancers, sorcerers and witches lasts 300 years and kills between 60,000 and 300,000 people. The vast majority of the victims are women.
Women were thought of as being more prone to the devil, more likely to sin, more likely to be led astray. They were also thought to be less intellectual than men.
Women were seen as closer to animals. And part of this was that they were more susceptible to temptation, that they were more easily seduced by material gratification.
As the Inquisition goes about its grisly business, rounding up suspects and interrogating them, many clerics and lay people worry that it's all guesswork. Perhaps they're missing even more witches than they're finding. But how can you tell who is one of Satan's helpers? What you need is a standard test. In 1486, two German Dominican monks published a textbook for inquisitors called Malleus Maleficarum, the Hammer of Witches.
This is the Cutting Edge on RFM, and as I listen in the development of how the devil developed into what we know called the devil. Nobody can identify this individual. People identify actions that they claim is not good as devil actions, but is only evil. It has nothing to do with a person or a thing that is outside of the human being, that is driving the human being to do these things, unless the outside thing is what store up the psyche of the person who then now do this evil thing. In other words, for instance, if a child does something wrong, and you tell the child not to do it, and the child continue to do it, there is something in your consciousness, in your mind, that is getting so aggravated that you need to lick the child. If you feel say the child must stop, and the only way you can stop him is to give him a rotted lick to make him stop. And then you continue to say now that it's the devil make the picnic go on so. But then you lick the child and the child drop down and dead. You start to say, no boy, you never mean to lick him so. The devil trying you say, man. You never mean to lick him and kill him. The actions is what is conditioning the consciousness, or what is conditioning the psychology. It has nothing to do with any individual entity with two hands and a black, somebody with wing, black wing, and slung upon a ebony throne. But one thing we can learn out of this documentary is that, one, the idea of Friday the 13th. You know them if you go in most places, you do have a 13th floor. When you go in an elevator, look here how tall the building is. There's no 13th floor. Them skip the 30. It's like one man that skip 2 in a Jamaica and say, there's not 2. They say 1, 3. Well, there's a superstitious belief about the evil of the 13. That's why they make moving in Friday the 13th. It all come down to the idea, the time when the Knights Templars were killed. And the day that they were killed and massacred, it was seen as an evil day. Friday the 13th. The idea of the Pope being 666 is a man named Martin Luther King turned that number into, from Nero, which you hear upon the documentary, that it was Nero. I don't know how much people know about Nero. Nero was the emperor of Rome. Them say Nero fiddle while Rome burn. The idea of that mark of the beast was first imposed upon the emperor Nero until the German Martin Luther come, the Protestant breakaway, and then declared the papacy the mother of all lads. And then we see the 7th day them come and take up that also. And now we see even Rasta come with that superstition about the mark of the beast 666. Now you can't get them kind of thing out of people head, you know. Because when I try to get it out of their head, I try to say there is a historical reference point to the origin of this belief system. There is somewhere, it's not you started, it's not your grandmother started, it started from centuries, hundreds, couple thousand years ago. This was something that was created for a group of people, a nation of people. And then it depended on the conqueror. Because you think in the conqueror's mind. So, depending on who conquer your country, you start to think in a their consciousness. So the Greeks conquer Persia, and the Greeks conquer Rome, the Greeks conquer Jerusalem, and they left marks of their mythologies there. They remember also that the Greeks went into Egypt, and a lot of what the Greeks recognize as their own is semblance of Egyptian mythologies. And it moved from the Greeks to the Romans, and then the Romans, in accepting what we now call Christian belief, Rome, under this man named Constantine, developed it as a state religion, and it become embedded in the consciousness of the people then, where Christianity was no longer a pagan religion. Because there was a time when Christianity was seen as paganism. A lot of people don't know that, but it's true. In Rome, Christianity was once seen as paganism. And when Christianity flourished because of this Roman emperor, it became a state religion, and most of the doctrines of of Christianity is based upon what Constantine declared to be appropriate for the state, the Roman state. So the Romans conquered Jerusalem and demolished Jerusalem, and so Jerusalem become almost like a Roman colony. And there is where we have a lot of the influences of Greco-Roman culture and what we now call the Holy Bible. However, people don't want to accept these things, but it's true we attack. We send the people in a wide way. You know, theologians will tell you that. I mean, Ian Boyle will tell you that. Ian Boyle knows it's true Mutabaruka attack, and a lot of scholars out there will study all these things. No say, even though we never go to school, go study these things, but because of our private trying to figure out and understand really what we believe in and why we believe in and what we believe in, we go, they just find it out ourselves. We say that most of what we take for religious belief is given to us by Europeans, especially the Greeks and the Romans, what we call the Greco-Roman understanding of what we call religious belief. We in Africa have our own understanding, our own religious ways of understanding belief system, our own belief systems. But because we were colonized by these people, we refuse to accept what we had in Africa. And we give up that. And somehow we don't even give it up. We never even know that. Because we're born into colonialism. And because we're born into colonialism, there is no teacher of Afrocentric spirituality or African spirituality to guide us into that, and then we can choose if we want African spirituality or if we want European understanding of spirituality. We never able to connect or have a choice. We never have a choice of spiritualities, of religious beliefs. We never able to connect or have a choice. We never have a choice of spiritualities, of religious beliefs. So we grasp the Greco-Roman understanding and we demonize everything else. You hear the people say, Christians who don't accept certain things in Christianity was seen as devil worshippers too. So it's not only non-believers get what them call under the Inquisition, you know. Remember, say it's the Pope them are uphold, you know. It's the Pope them are uphold in Europe. And if you're not with the Pope, you're supposed to be burned at the stake. Even if you're a Christian. Even if you're a Christian, if you're not with the Pope, you was burned at the stake. You will see that practicing witchcraft. So everyone have to line up themselves with the Pope of Rome. There's a story about Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth I, where the Pope of Rome tried to kill her because she started to take a different turn, a different way, and them send people to kill her continuously. And she manipulate, and then she never get killed by the Pope. But the popes at that time were some evil people. When them talk about Africans who do this and do that, them now forget say Europe go under some serious medieval dark, I mean, whatever the word is that can describe evil was in Europe. So we look at this documentation and we say, after analyzing this idea of devil and God, these perceptions that we have of the devil and of God, it's not because we critically examine the philosophy of these ideas. It's because it was given to us from birth. And our minds is so embedded from birth into it that there is no other way. There's only one way, because there's no other way. Because the only way you can choose is if you have something to choose from. And the from is very important here, because you can't choose from one. There's no choice in one. When a man say, him choose this, you can't choose this if you never have something to decide that your choice is this. You choose it because the choice of wanting or understanding came from somewhere that is not of your choice. A man wear a denim pants and him say, yeah, we wear a denim pants and me choose to wear the denim pants. Yeah, of course you choose to wear the denim pants. But get right down to it, man. But if you had a choice between not wearing a pants and wearing a pants, you maybe wouldn't wear a pants, but because the society set up a way for you to wear pants, you have to go wear the pants, and if the denim pants is in, based upon a fashion and what I wear, you wear the denim pants too. Just like our advertisement make you choose what you don't want. But you choose it. You can't choose, as we say, people don't have a choice when it's only one thing. You have to have more than one thing to actually make a decision. You see, and this society is one thing you have. One thing. You have to come outside. You have to go outside it. To come realize there's something else. It's like a man lock you up in a box for years. and you come out of the box, and you say, boy, I don't like coach, I want to go back to the box, Rasta. You don't have a choice when there's nothing else to choose from. And this society and the religious belief that is embedded in the Western mindset, you have to come out. You have to start to search. You have to start to figure out. You have to start doubt. You have to go start relax certain ways. And come and say, but wait, what did they teach me over the years? How it goes so? How the things stay so? How poor people get poorer? And we're supposed to love that because the Bible said that. Or the Bible actually say, it is easier for a camel to go to the eye of an eagle and a rich man to enter the kingdom. And you actually sit on your belief say it's an eagle, like when you saw it. You're like, wow. You really believe it's an eagle when you saw it that talk about. However, if you understand, say, but I know that they matter about. So it leaves a position say, boy, I don't want to get rich faster. Because rich man can't go heaven and all these things. And I really sit down and think that. I want to say just want to have enough. What is enough? And they make you want to give up the beauty of what life is all about. And make you feel say there's something better out there that you don't even know about. You don't even know about. You don't know nobody who experience it. It's just a hearsay. And all of these things is coming from mythologies that was created and designed to make you feel insecure about your life. And that there's something, it's like the Islam, it's like Muslims. Them promised the man to tie on a bomb on him, to blow up some people, to be a martyr, because when him reach into heaven, him going to sit down with a lot of virgins. A whole heap of youth get sell that in the so-called Middle East. Them sell the youth them that. Tie on a bumper, you blow up the place. Don't worry, you become a martyr. You go to heaven, you get 72 virgins, and your life will be better. What a terrible thing. Because they want you to feel, say, this life. What is this life? This life is of no value. You know? It's like how them put the philosophy in front of you. It's like you can't appreciate this life. That's why the next life, things will be better. So people don't put no value upon life. People put value upon death. That when you're dead, everything will go alright. Because you will go to a better place. That is the philosophy where them sell away. It have nothing to do with you. It have something to do with colonization. How the colonies impart this so-called knowledge, these mythologies, these illusions, and the minds of black people. All the way you hear upon that documentary is relating to how Europeans view the devil and what them develop after viewing the devil a certain way. How them start to massacre them own people. Them own people. Them start to massacre them own people based upon a mythology and an illusion that was taken from a next culture. So them use that next culture to validate themselves and then build upon that culture, build upon that belief system, and that belief system become a part of their inheritance. And when them go into a next country, colonize the country now, it become those people, even though those people have a culture of them own and a religious persuasion of them own. But that religious persuasion is wiped out because of colonialism and then replaced with the European mindset. And the European mindset now decide and determine how you think, when you think it, and why you should think it. So the man say, like when the man say AIDS supposed to be hell. And the man will show you say, yeah, you see a place in Jerusalem, there was a place where they used to burn people like criminals. When them crucify the criminals, they have a place where them burn them body. Because we go to this place named Golgotha. We go to Golgotha and right now is a bus stop there. But Golgotha is the place where them used to crucify people. That is what them tell us, them crucify Jesus Christ, Golgotha. Mountain of the skulls, or hill of the skull, whatever them call, because the side of the hill look like a skull. And them are show you say, this is where them used to kill, this is where them kill, criminals. Them bury, not that bury them, them crucify them, but there's a place now where them take them out, them try them go burn the body. So your cultures like that, them don't keep bodies certain way, them burn the body, right? Alright, so the burning of the body represent a certain look and a certain thinking. And this place is where the idea of you shall burn in a bottomless pit, hellfire, bottomless pit, is this where it come from? That pit that them put the dead bodies in and burn it, now become your resting place if God don't like what you do. He's going to show you in a bottomless pit with fire, a burn and lava and brimstone that's a burn you for 1,000 years. Who create those things? Who have the people then in fear and collect their money? Because the more you have fear about this thing, is the more you will want to give away your inheritance. And that is how we see go on. Because right now, black people, especially in this part of the world, who embrace this idea, we don't have no land. Landless. Land is the business of power. If you don't have no land, you don't have no power. Most of the wars that has been fought in the world was fought over land. So if you don't have no land, you don't have good house, because if earthquake, hurricane, or anything which was sent by your God, if it comes you first, it leak. When it's you, mostly I go to church. So isn't it ironical that the people them who go to church most is the people them who is affected most by an act of God? Think about it. The people them who go to church most in a poor countries like Jamaica, when an act of God leak, it's them first it crush up and kill. How is that mindset? How we figure out that? Really? Forget the messenger. Think about the message what we are saying. Think about the message. That you who pray mostly is you who get destroyed easily by the same personal thing that you're praying to. And the church represent that force that maintain the supremacy over the people, this fear and this doctrine that has been perpetrated and created by the Greeks and the Romans for thousands of years, and keep going on and on and on and on. But guess what? It's going to stop, It's going to stop, because the more information is presented, is the more people going to recognize, but wait there. Stop, hold on. All this thing I go so all the while. So say, our grandparents, our great-grandparents get fooled. They fool them. So, who going to stop the cycle of craziness that has continued in this part of the world for 500 years against black people? Yet still it never just started with slavery, but it started with the invasion of Africa by outside forces, by the Arabs, by the Greeks, by the Romans, and now by the Americans and the Chinese. All of them invade Africa and now continue to perpetuate the illusion and the lies and the minds of black people to make black people feel, say, the Hades, this devil is a black person with black wings and two arms are pushed out of them head. Meanwhile, the goodness of heaven is perpetuated and visualized by a big fat white man with white beard, sit up on a white cloud with white winged angels and white clothes. And we sing in the churches, though our sins be like scarlet, but it shall be as white as snow. Because everyone dream of a white Christmas. But a serious thing. Serious thing.
I have an idea. Why don't you turn this thing into a church? You could make a bundle of money. And, of course, that's what he did.
He has been called everything from a carny to a manipulator to a brilliant philosopher. The truth lies somewhere in the middle.
There were doctors, lawyers, college students, factory workers, farmers, you name it. They came from all levels of society.
In spite of the invented rituals, mostly staged for the cameras, neither LaVey nor his followers believe in a real devil. What LaVey admires is Satan the rebel, the nonconformist, provoking the establishment. Predictably, America is fascinated and outraged. In 1967, the 60s fascination with the occult, spearheaded by LaVey's Church of Satan, gets a powerful boost from Hollywood. The film Rosemary's Baby, a dark tale of devil worshippers in Manhattan, is a massive and unexpected hit. In Roman Polanski's masterpiece, the heroine's innocuous neighbors are part of a satanic conspiracy to help the Prince of Darkness father a child who will rule the world. In Rosemary's Baby, Satan triumphs in the end. But the Christian backlash to the story comes in the 1973 blockbuster The Exorcist. This time, the devil, who has possessed a young girl, is defeated by the forces of good in the shape of two priests. The Exorcist. The old belief that women are especially susceptible to satanic influence is revived 2 centuries after the Salem witch trials.
We would be seriously in error if we were to underestimate the power of Hollywood. I think that the biggest impact was probably around the time of The Exorcist.
I know many people I've talked to about the movie, especially those raised in a Christian household, who are very frightened by it, very upset. It's the war between good and evil, but evil is in a whole new dimension and it's very personal.
It made being possessed almost fashionable. The numbers of people who were seen to be possessed just took off.
I've been invited to exorcise people who were convinced they had a demon, and you will get people who go through it, and it can be very violent and very dramatic and very expressive, but it can really flip someone into serious ill health.
Hollywood's discovery that fortunes can be made with stories of possession and devil worship stokes the fires of a paranoia that has lain dormant since the days of the witch trials. In the 1980s, stories about a vast conspiracy of organized Satanists sweep the media. Known as the Satanic Panic, Christian groups allege mass satanic abuse of children and tens of thousands of kidnappings.
Part of the Satanic Panic started with accusations of satanic ritual abuse. Groups of people who declared themselves as Satanists were believed to be taking people and children and damaging them.
There were all kinds of dark suggestions about children disappearing and about child sacrifice and ritual murder.
Although hundreds of people are arrested and imprisoned, when the FBI finally launches a full-scale investigation in the United States, it concludes that the satanic abuse allegations are all groundless.
Well, that's why I mentioned, as the man talk about satanic abuse and groundless, there was a time in Jamaica when the people them used to say Rasta fall into that category, where them say we used to take children and carry them into Warwick Hill and sacrifice the people them. This is we Rasta who don't want to eat a fish, much less. Them used to say that about Rasta in Jamaica. I want you to know that. They don't know a far-fetched thing. Rasta used to take people and take children, as a matter of fact. Rasta was the boogeyman at that time, because we say we are black art man. Now a whole heap of Rasta now turn white heart, but we are black heart, man. In a them days they were a black we are dealing like Paul Bogo we say black for black, skin for skin, color for color. So when you hear the man talk about witch hunt, when them used to say satanic people take away, the FBI investigate and find say no go so. Well, we now go say now the people who take a picnic. Because right now people are taking a picnic in Jamaica for a different reason. You have pedophiles in Jamaica, you have child abusers in Jamaica, where after them done rape the little picnic them kill the picnic them. That now have nothing to do with no satanic cult. It have something to do with the perception of the people who are do it. There's a certain perception. It's like when you read in the Bible about Abraham. Who would have ever realized that this story is upheld by a lot of Christians? Where a man got send him son for sacrifice him because some spirit tell him say him want to prove to say if him really love him or not. He must take him only son and sacrifice him. So the symbolism might boil down into Christianity where them sure we say God gave his only son. That is the greatest love that a one could show to the next one. That he gave him only son. The only son, suppose the death of this son supposed to save the world, but guess what? You see, from that son dead till now, evil rise up more than ever before. And we see it manifest right now in Jamaica. Jamaica is the 5th most murderous country on the earth. And it have the most churches in the world. Oh, we not think on them something. I not see the things. Say something wrong. Something wrong, Rasta. Something wrong. If you have so much church in the world and the most murderous place in the world, then something must wrong. And people here talk about, well, you see, we are blessed now because of hurricane or liquid. Watch a man. On the go and talk. Hurricane or lick your house. But want to the one house to mash up. Want to lick you to drown. And all these things. If it not happen to you individually, you say nothing not happen. But you have thousands of people. Want to the man who are planting banana them. And I wait for banana them come and the one hurricane come out so whoops and wipe the whole time. Liquid the whole everything. When borrow money from bank and rod and this, that, and then buy fertilizer for children banana that him can have a prosperous little family and thing and the hurricane just come out so boom, wipe the whole time banana. And you down the road that talk about, well, I'm glad boy, I'm saying what not happen. We God bless. God bless. The man I said me lose all I'm banana. A little man just get a little money for build up a little shack for put him family in her. And when him put him family in a little shack, the hurricane got to whoops and blow him little shack, him picking them now, no way to leave him have to go in the arena, him have to go to Portmore Center and all these places for go lay down in a, when him done set up himself already. It is easier for a camel to go to the eye of an eagle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. That is what I'm saying.
You get it in all periods of history. I think you get it much more virulently nowadays because one of the most potent instruments for spreading hysteria is the modern telecommunications industry.
If members of satanic religions mostly don't believe in a supernatural devil and don't pray to Satan, what does the devil represent? Some Satanists claim the devil stands for a spirit of change.
A lot of people are frightened by the term Satanism. A lot of people automatically think that Satanists are bad people. They should be no more scared of a Satanist than they should be scared of anyone else they meet.
You know, what Satanism means to me is opposition and balance. Alternative thought, playing the devil's advocate. There is no good and evil. I mean, to a mouse, a cat is this horrible evil thing with fangs. But to the pet owner, the cat is heavenly. We create our own reality. That's the whole idea behind Satanism.
In the United States, surveys show that almost half of Americans believe the devil is real. Even non-religious people instinctively divide the world into good and evil, the opposing principles taught by Zoroaster to the ancient Persians. If anything, recent events have made that belief even stronger. In September 2001, the massive terrorist attacks on the United States which destroyed the World Trade Center shocked America to its core. To many, it seemed as if sinister forces had gone on the offensive. It was easy to believe that this was a showdown between the forces of good and evil. To the US government and a large section of American opinion, the attacks were about much more than politics.
We've come to know truths that we will never question. Evil is real, and it must be opposed.
You're either with us or you're against us. And if you're against us, by and large, you're going to be working hand in hand with Satan.
That was Reagan that talked about the evil empire. Bush talks about the axis of evil. It's classic, ancient, dualistic thinking.
In the wake of the 9/11 attacks, President Bush gave the job of catching Osama bin Laden, the man responsible for the atrocity, to Lieutenant General William G. Boykin. But according to Boykin, America's real foe isn't bin Laden. In the general's words, the enemy of the U.S. is a guy called Satan. Since 2001, the draconian measures taken by the US and other governments in the war on terror are uncannily like those of the war on Satan of 400 years ago. Imprisonment without trial, secret hearings, anonymous tip-offs, and torture.
We are seeing a similar willingness to justify mistreatment, to justify the removal of rights, to justify the use of torture against the perceived enemy in the war against terrorism.
If you're fighting a war against evil, what begins to happen, I think, is that you end up by turning into the evil that you're fighting.
Controversially, President Bush called the invasion of Iraq a crusade. The similarities with the historic crusades against heretics are striking. They include a belief on the battlefield that the enemy are not just military opponents, but agents of pure evil. In November 2004, as US forces launch a massive attack on the Iraqi city of Fallujah, a senior Marine officer, Lieutenant Colonel Gareth Brandley, makes clear what he thinks the enemy is.
The enemy is not a face, it's called Satan. Will be destroyed.
It's embroidery, it's myth-making, it's poetry. It can be good fun, except that it has produced great evils. A human invention, but one that's rebounded on us because it's given us permission to do terrible things to each other, which is why I think that we should close hell down and finally banish the devil and get rid of him.
Yes, the man say, banish the devil and get rid of him once and for all. You know, the problem with that idea is that if you get rid of the devil, you have to get rid of God. And if you maintain God, the devil will always exist. It's a serious thing. Think about it. It's one kind with two sides. If you continue with God, you have to continue with the devil. And if you want to get rid of the devil, you have to get rid of God. So human beings inside of this Western world are a serious dilemma to deal with. So the point is that there there is no heaven in the sky, nor no hell under the earth. Heaven and hell is a human construct in the psychology of trying to understand actions that human beings perpetuate, whether in the interest of other human beings or at the detriment of other human beings. So when we look at the action, we say there's evil actions, and good men do evil things. Evil people who claim say them baptize and is the Holy Spirit that hold them, they also is susceptible to evil. Evil and good emanates from human beings. No other creature on earth have that philosophy. There is no good and evil in the mind of the lion or the tiger or the elephant. And you will train a dog to be other than a dog, but a dog is a dog. And when a dog is amongst other dogs, he behaves like a dog. Human beings destroy the goodness of the human perspective and become other than humans. You know, everyone say human neither because you are a man. You know, it's like the language is so limited that you don't know why I say human. Because human is a kind of man. It doesn't want to know the original man. But what we are saying is that the devil only exists in the mind that conjure up the devil. There's no under the earth person that is waiting for you in fire. There's no person under the earth that is waiting for you in fire. And no one that has died come back to tell you that. But why, if nobody experience it and tell you, why we hold it as a knowledge? Why we hold it as knowledge based? When all of these understanding is coming from people who did not have the information that we have now, so they create these imageries in their cultures to feel comfortable in the space that them find themselves in, and also to explain what is happening, why it happening, and how it happened in their culture thousands of years ago. Them never have the information where we have. Them never have the information. So we have to go after superstition. There is no need for us to be superstitious in this time of information. Religion has diverted our attention from being human beings. Religion is not taking us to be human. Our humanness is lost because of religion. Everybody believe, well, in the Western world, look how much different denominations of Christianity them have. And all of these denominations believe in a God. But yet still none of them can come to the conclusion about this God. But them say it's one God. It's one God. Then also much different conclusion come to with this one God. It means that it's man's perception. And just like how man have a perception about God, it's some of a perception about devil. But we put